Derp-de-der. 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 Derp-a-derp-a-derpy-dum. Okay. Hello, please. There I am. There I am. Okay. So I have been trying to write my own nav mesh, and it is a bit of a slog. Bit of a slog here. There's a lot of fucking code, it turns out, to do that. But I have gotten it to compile, so that's good. Most of it is not my code. I would say the vast majority of it is not, so we're gonna see what fucking happens here. Right now I'm in the process of, like, kind of tying my procedural mesh vertices into this. And we'll see how that goes. So I'm trying to, like, replace the code I copied had heights, like, stored in a different array. And I was like, I don't need that. I have because it was like doing it was doing it differently. Anyways, but yeah, I'm trying to replace this chord heights array because now I can just what did I do? Get height at and give it an XY, and let's actually just duplicate that. Okay, so that's going to be the index of each one, I suppose. And then for each of them I will need to be doing... What the hell is that? Huh. Was that shift? Huh. I never knew I could set a golden breakpoint. Crazy. Okay, go away. So get height at, and then triangulation dot, what do I have? Chords, yeah, chords. Wait, does... How are these triangles populated? This is probably in something like generates triangulation. I mean, I assume it's a 1-to-1. Two times I plus 1. I am just going from the delunator triangles into the triangulation triangles. No, Moxie, don't do it. Come here. Good girl. You didn't absolutely freak out. No, come here. You almost made it here. You're waddling back. No, Moxie. Moxie. Come here. There you go. Come here. There you go. Can you sit? Can you just sit right there? Can you sit? Sit. Good girl. Thank you. Okay. After 4 hours of solo dev, I'm going back to bed. Oh, are you working? And now I'm going live. I'm sorry, mate. I had to finish up work. I am here though. Please go to bed if you need to. do not stay up on behalf of me by any means. I'm trying to write my own nav mesh, so it's gonna be an absolute fucking slog today. I have to figure out what the relationship to chords to triangles is. I can assume that it might be every 3 chords is a triangle. let me open up my sample code here. Okay, so coordinates. Coordinate heights. Okay, it looks like we're doing 1 per coordinate, and then previously, back, right here. It was just a, believe it was just a 1-to-1. I'm looking, and there's no... I guess it just seems weird to me. Easier to smash my head against the keyboard knowing that someone else is going through the same. I feel you there, though. We're suffering together. You know, I think there's actually a psychological phenomena about that. Something about like when a group of people goes through like shared suffering together, they like form a stronger like friendship or bond or something like that. They say that about like, you know, sports teams and stuff. I feel like that's a thing. Anyways, this should be triangulation AHI ahi tuna. Get height at XY. Oh right, I need to type like dot chords. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Twice more. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Okay, now I can get rid of that coordinate heights. Okay. Yep. Yes. Okay, get rid of that one too. Another one. Okay. Yes, of course, the collinear edge check function with 19 million parameters. Chord heights. Uh-oh. Good height at edge points. Surface heights. I shouldn't use this either. Jesus. There's so much goddamn code. Okay, so, okay. You know, it'd be nice if I had a, an integer version of this function, I suppose. But I would need to pass in all sorts of shits. Is that right? One more parenthesis. Wait. Yeah. EI1 and EI2. And EIO. And bingo was his name-o. Ugh. Okay, so that function's fixed. Who's at my front door? Was a bug, I believe. No, thank you. Okay, chord heights. Get rid of that. Place corners. Another one. God, dude, the amount of parameters this guy is passing around. Too dang high. Okay. Okay. Got it. I really do need a function for this. Get height at. Go to the definition, please. Thank you. Chords and index. I mean, is that easy? And then I return to float. I think so. Okay. Chords I, X, chords I, Y. Okay. Get height at index. Let's make that const ref so we don't copy it. Triangulation, chords. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Clean this one up. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Okay, check other classes now. Well, let's just compile and see if it breaks. Dr. Elliot. Wait, why didn't that show up in my OBS? Probably happened a while ago. What the heck? Okay, yeah, we can play the game. Nice. Okay. So yeah, build all of it. Build it. Build the world. Okay. Show navigation. So it's not supposed to be doing this. So I actually have 2 nav meshes right now, which is fine. But this manual nav mesh that I've created is not it's not supposed to be used for this purpose. So I will need it to stop doing that if this ends up working. I guess right now I'm just trying to figure out if this is even viable. If it works. Where are my little buttons at? Yeah, okay, so build triangulation. Took 0.12 seconds. Build nav mesh. Okay, so it did something. It took 0.01 seconds. That does not seem right. Didn't fail. How do I want to like disable the nav mesh one. Manual detour nav mesh. Okay, so I don't know what happened. See, it seems as though nothing happened. Oh, I have no min and max. That's probably why. Okay, what's my... We'll just come up with a min and max here. Let's do negative... some multiple of 12,000, I think. 120,000. To positive. I think that's right. Is that the right number of zeros? I can never fucking tell. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Build it again now. Save all. No, not export all. Save it. Okay, now this is taking about the amount of time that I would expect it to. Oh, okay. 4 seconds. And it's running very slowly now. Max link count is too large to fit in unsigned short. Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden it's running like absolute garbage. Oh, this is going to be so painful. Okay, not found in polymap for index 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 18. Oh, are we back to regular performance? Treymex, hello, how you doing? Okay, let's see where this is being logged from. Not bad. That's good. That's good. Oh, I'm not too bad. I'm currently trying to figure out how to create like my own nav mesh, which is turning out to be it's going to be an absolute slog to figure out if this can work or not. I could not find really any resources about anyone trying to do this other than this one person from like 4 years ago. And so I've copied all their code and I'm trying to get it to work with my stuff, because like I'm generating this whole procedural world with like vertices and stuff, and I have all that information, right? I have all these vertices, and then like the Unreal Engine built-in nav system, like the recommended way to do what I want would be to use navigation invokers, which, you know, just generates navigation in a radius around a given actor. And it's like, okay, yeah, that works, but I also want things to be, I want to be able to have a nav mesh not around my character. Like, I want to potentially have it much farther away than would be realistic for that kind of a system, so that I can just use that to keep a Colony Sim simulation going without having to have my procedural terrain rendered or anything like that. And it should, theoretically, you know, it's possible. I have all the vertices information. Like, I don't even need to be doing the navigation calculations like constantly. Like, I have the vertex information, so I should just be able to use like a simplified version of that for navigation mesh without having to do a whole bunch of extra processing and stuff. So I'm trying to, and this is like very deep in, like, I guess there's Detour, which is like an open source nav mesh thing that Unreal Engine has forked. And then there's Recast, which is like a pathfinding thing, open source pathfinding thing that Unreal Engine has forked. And I've copied over all this guy's code and tried to shoehorn my own shit in there, and it's not working so far. As you can see, a lot of polys are not found. Okay, so here we are. I'm deciding to make my game multiplayer and use the EQS subsystem, so that's what I'm working on and learning. Yeah, I need to do that as well. But once again, I tried to do my own thing for doing environmental queries because I have my own, like, environment, I guess. But I need to figure out if I can make that work for me as well. I've done some nav mesh work in Unity, but I failed, so I just used the Unity nav mesh that comes with the engine. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's where I'm going to end up, but with Unreal. Because it is, my god, the amount of the complexity. Like this is the nav mesh class. Like, I'll just show you the header file. Like, look at all this shit. Look at this. Like, what is this? Make triangulation tile. Process point. Place points. Reverse edge check. Next corner edge. Try point to string. Like, collinear edge check. Like, dude, what is this? What is this? So I have a feeling I'm just going to be doing some, like, low-res storage of my own verts of the meshes I generate. And then just kind of like... It would be nice if I could have that in a nav data format so that I could still use all the same, like, AI move to nodes. But if I have to write my own move to, that would be a lot simpler than potentially what I'm doing here. So, we'll see. I'm trying my best to not get on and make anything because I want to do some research first before making any moves. That would be the smart thing to do. I hate doing that. I hate thinking too much before diving into a problem. Like, I think spending way too much time in I don't like spending way too much time in design. Definitely a little bit up front. Like I said, like I did some searching on like how to make a manual nav mesh. Or make my own nav mesh, but I don't know, it's so boring. I just want to get in and do it, you know. Yeah, so we got some polys and some maps that are not found. Okay, so this mapped poly map find, we have temp polys. I want to make everything myself, but that will drain. Yeah, I mean, that's just going to take so much time. It's just not realistic to do that, yeah. And you wouldn't finish the game, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure with Unreal, like, it just, there's usually some way it's done in Unreal already, right? Like, the number of times where I've, like, done something myself and then figured out later there was something I never knew about that did something pretty similar to what I needed. It's happened several times. Okay, so I guess, what is this polymap? Where is this coming from? Polymap. We are reserving, maybe I should throw it, let's throw a breakpoint in here. Maybe I'll restart to, like, free up all that memory and stuff. We good? Okay. We're not crashing though, so that's good. Generate, yes. Okay. Now this is like the built-in nav going. I'm gonna wait for this to get done before I do anything. Okay, I built triangulation. I wonder if that's what's failing somehow. So I am like jamming literally every single one of the vertices. Like every every dot on here I am jamming into a data structure. Yeah, every dot on here. And then trying to feed it to this algorithm that this guy wrote. Okay, so I did the build triangulation. Build nav. Okay, let's clear this out. Build nav mesh next. Boom. Okay, I got rid of the. Okay, that and nothing happened here. Do I need to run live coding? No, I don't. Okay, so we never even got here. I wanted to make a character. I would use MetaHuman and do all the work to figure out why it isn't working, but now I look up what other people do, and if anyone has made a character with MetaHumans and optimization. Yeah, I wish there was more textual resources for Unreal Engine and the kind of stuff that you say. Most people do videos, which I find it kind of hard to find the right information when it's all in video form. Build nav mesh again. Build triangulation again. Build nav mesh. Okay, how did I get that to work before? Oh, right. Hang on. I have to set the min and max. I forgot to do that. So recast nav mesh. Let's just turn you off for a second. Turn your debug off, that is. Okay, the min and max. Okay, let's just do negative 12,000 to 12,000. Okay. This terrain. Built the triangulation. I should probably put some breakpoints there as well. Hang on. Triangulation, reset. Yeah, let's throw it in right there. We'll run that again. We're gonna see what information is in here. Did this actually get like populated with stuff? There is a 1 coordinate in here. That ain't right. Invalid and empty. What does cleanup removals do? No wonder this finishes so fast. Why is this happening? A terrain chunk map is empty. No wonder it was happening so fast. Okay, well, there's our problem. Okay, stop that. Breakpoint there, I suppose. Why would terrain chunk map be empty? I could have swore this is what I was doing. This is where I was storing my stuff here. Okay, yeah, breakpoint there. Run it back. Okay, it's not empty. It's not empty. Okay, see, okay, we're putting things in points. That's good. Right there. Okay, we have 655,000 things in this array. Okay, sick, sick. Surely nothing wrong will happen. Yes, the triangulation. Now, why is the triangulation not getting built properly? Because all I'm doing in here. Try it again. Build. Yeah, I got here in points. Yes, we have all of those points. Test chords. I wish I was at the level you are right now. I feel like I would be more motivated to get on because I would always have something to do. But I don't even know where to start with my game. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's... I mean, I've been working on this for like 2 years almost now, so it's been a goddamn journey, to say the least. And yeah, there were definitely points where it's like, dude, I can't even work on anything next because I have to finish this one thing, right? You know, or I have to like unlock the capacity to work on the next thing or whatever. Or I have to figure out what I want to do for X, Y, and Z. But I don't even know where to start with my game. I mean, just dive in. Just head first, dive in, reckless abandon, pick something and just go. If you do have things that you're toying around with, right? I mean, I don't know. For me, when I get stuck, I just kind of have to like brute force myself into getting into it, you know? Like just pick something and go, kind of. Even if you don't end up using it, you know, it'll get you unstuck. I guess is the issue that you don't know what is going to be in your game, or you just don't know of all the things that you've come up with what you need to do first. And this is an array with 1.3 million things in it. Nice. So this has all the shit, right? So let me put this in here. Let me go back. Go next. Next. Okay, the coordinates are all here as well. Oh shit, what did I do? Okay, triangulation built in... Oh, well that's probably not accurate because I had the breakpoint. Yeah, what on earth would be happening here? I have to run it again. Yeah. Oh my god. Parent is null, okay. God, look at the size of this array. Do you see that number? That's fucking insane. What even is that number? Dude, that's a fucking nuts. That's a nutso number right there. That's not even real. And the chords, what is this? STD vector, that's just an array, right? Oh, I see. And then I'm pushing X and then Y, so every other one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should shrink this down because I think something fucky is happening somewhere. I guess maybe the size is like that. linear triangle's size. You don't really know about how to go about making the mechanics. What mechanics? Maybe I can be a bit of a rubber ducky for you here. What happens in this like function here? Where's the there it is. In chords. Okay. Now look at all this raw C++ happening here. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that. I'm not gonna figure out what's going on in there. That's a trap. Now, let me just skip a couple maybe. I do have things in here. Like interaction, should I add animation to the character when interacting, or should the interaction be fast and snappy without animation? What kind of interactions are? I mean, I guess I need the larger context of your video game, but like, what kind of interactions are we talking about here? Because the answer could be both, right? Depending on what's happening in the game. You want to go for a realistic feel to the game. Now, okay. Like realistic animations, not necessarily like immersive mechanics, or maybe both. Now keep in mind that like the longer the animations are when you're interacting, and I don't know what kind of game this is going to be, but if things are going to be, you know, very repetitive, you know, I'm thinking a game like The Forest, right? Like things are very realistic in that game, you know, down to the inventory, where you like have to literally open up the backpack, you know, but that can get kind of tedious after a while. So maybe think about how repetitive things are going to be. A restaurant simulator, okay. And so it sounds like something maybe a little bit more than the God, what was that game? Was it like Dine and Dash was the game, or Diner Dasher or something like that? It was like a Facebook game. Or what's the new version of that called? Like Played Up or something? I assume you mean something higher fidelity than that. Yeah, not too immersive. Yeah, you don't want the fucking trauma that comes with actually running a restaurant. Not too immersive. Is this going to be, are you like as an individual in the restaurant running around, or are you like top-down omniscient controller of the restaurant? Individual first person, okay. And so are you like the server, the busboy, the owner? Where you work your way up, potentially? Why? Is there just too much? What is happening here? Because in here, everything's fine. Uh-oh. Ryder, come back to me. Okay. the owner and you upgrade your restaurant over time and hiring more employees. Okay, and so when you say interaction, this is the kind of stuff where, like, I assume you're gonna have customers and servers and stuff like that. You're talking about those interactions. You know, setting plates down, sitting down at the table. You know, clearing the table. The chefs cooking the food. Are those kind of interactions we're talking about? Okay, the number of chords is good there. I feel like this is probably... Is this just Ryder not being able to handle the big numbers or something? It is strange. Let's do a log here as well. Yeah, I feel like these simulation games, they need like quite a bit of assets, right? To make the upgrades feel nice. So I don't know if you're going to be creating your own assets and stuff, but that can be a decent spot to start. Okay, I mean, it has all the numbers there. It's kind of crazy that it takes 0.1 seconds to get through like 600,000 things. Start off your business as a food truck. Nice. There's one person doing all the work. Hire an employee to handle one job so you can fix another. Eventually progresses into a big restaurant that you manage. So, I mean, it sounds like you're going to need some sort of map, right? Some sort of world. You're going to want the player to be able to purchase property. You know, I actually had an idea for a... Dude, I was at Chick-fil-A, right? And, you know, if you've ever been through a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, I don't know where at in the world you are, but Chick-fil-A is it's a very busy kind of fast food place. But my God, do they get people in and out of there like no one's business. And I was just watching the efficiency of this drive-thru happen, and they had extra employees out in front of where you would usually order, and they were taking people's orders ahead of time, and they had tablets. And there were multiple stops, and then there was a person directing traffic, and like there was enough people, and there always is at this Chick-fil-A. There's enough people in the drive-thru that it actually fucks up traffic in this shopping center. And so, like they kind of like made their own sections in the parking lot, and made their own directions in the parking lot to make sure that the maximum amount of people could get into this Chick-fil-A line without fucking up the rest of the shopping center. And then like it was raining too, and like the employees had these like, it was so strange. I've never seen it before, but they had like they were basically wearing like a personal tent. It was this big square thing, and it had like clear, like right around the face area so they could see through. But they just looked like these little boxes with legs. It was way more than an umbrella hat. It was a whole enclosure. But it was like a little personal tent that they were under. It was like this rectangular prism that they were wearing. It's like when you were a kid and like your parents would buy a TV and then you just put the TV box over your head and run around. That's what they look like, you know? And I was just thinking that like, dude, what would it... Like, I kind of wanted to play a fast food simulator. And thinking that like you could upgrade your fast food restaurant to like hire extra employees to be out there and direct traffic, and then potentially, you know, buy another lot for more drive-through and shit like that. You know, lobby the local government to make changes to the traffic to get people in and out faster, that kind of thing. Anyways, that was a long rant about Chick-fil-A. That's what got you wanting to make this game? You were in that same Chick-fil-A line. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. What is in this poly map? I do have numbers in here. But yeah, I guess I would just like, I don't know, if I were you, I would, because like things like animations, like you can always iterate on that, right? That's a very easy to iterate on thing. Like I think if I were you, I would just like get a fucking cube, not a cube, but like a you know, just stand up some walls, stand up a roof, and then get some like shitty models, and they can be metahumans. You can get those in there pretty easily. But like I don't know, I wouldn't worry too much about the fidelity of the animation right now. That feels like a decision you can make at a later point, and just easily swap it. Just use what you have, right? You know they don't even need to have animations when they pick shit up or go places, right? You can just have them standing there, flipping burgers, and just put like an icon over their head for if they're flipping burgers or something. And then you can just work on the mechanics that way, right? Like that can get you unblocked. And like if you get to the point where I'm at, I'm breakpointed, so I can't show you, but like I wanted to work on abilities in my game, like RPG abilities, and I was like, man, if I could just have WoW's animations, that's like a great starting point for me for placeholder animations. And they're not like these are like the vanilla WoW animations, and it's not like there's super many. There's like perfectly enough for what I need, but they're not like crazy cool animations, and they're all pretty there's just like a couple weapon swing animations, 2 different cast animations, but it was enough for me to get unblocked and start working on these abilities to actually start getting a feel for the combat, right? And so I figured out how to rip WoW's animations so that I could use them in Unreal Engine. Looking at restaurants and how they work differently. Yeah, I used to work in an Outback Steakhouse. I know exactly what you mean. Even down to like, I remember one thing that was like big for us was like everyone was supposed to help out with like these like ad hoc chores, basically like refilling the ice, or like folding some silverware, or like emptying the bus trays that you would that would get filled up from like either the bar or from like where the food comes out and you're about to run the food and you're like putting shit on plates and stuff. Expo. When you're expoing all that byproduct, and like there were always like shitty servers who would never do their fucking fair share, And so we changed to a policy of like everyone had a specific job that night. Like so and so was in charge of refilling the ice, and yeah, you can do different decisions like that, or different management styles to like change the efficiency. But yeah, I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't worry too much about what those individual interactions look like. I would be worrying about what those interactions are. And then just trying to facilitate that in the easiest way, the least resistance way possible, right? Just get you an animation pack where like in WoW they do this thing. They're like, that's and like the human does that anytime they're opening something or using something. It's that same animation. Just do something like that. Polymath. I mean, there's things in here. There is things in here. Let me throw a breakpoint here for when things go wrong. Nothing went wrong. What? That is suspicious. Oh, we're paused? What is this? What was that? Okay, we're gonna have to restart. I don't know what the hell happened there. Poly not found. It is doing things though, which is nice to see. It's not just falling on its face. Okay. Did my nav mesh changes get saved? Okay, yes. Okay, let's just play that. What I'm doing right now is VFX stuff for wait, where'd it go? I'm doing some VFX stuff with rain and clouds and shit for the sky. That seems like, and you know, maybe you work differently than me, and that's totally okay. That would be the thing that I would do like last. Like, I don't know, to me, unless you're gonna have like some pretty heavy weather mechanics in the game, I mean, even then I probably wouldn't. That would be I would just be getting the base mechanics of get NPCs to show up to restaurant and order food. That's what I'm telling myself. Why am I working on this? You're doing a very interesting form of procrastination, it seems. You're like procrasticide projecting. Where are my buttons? There we go. Triangulation built. Okay. Build nav mesh. Okay, we got here. Poly not found. Ah, I see, but because I know exactly how I want it and get fast results, I see. So it's like a that's why I'm doing that first. Yeah, okay. I feel you there. Like, yeah. It's easy to get out of your head into the engine. Yeah. It's like a motivation thing, kind of, you know? Like a productivity motivation thing. That's why I jump around a lot. When I don't like the number of times I've done a pass through on my procedural terrain system. I mean, I've done so many now. Like, I come back to it, right? I iterate on it, I guess. Like, I don't. When I start working on like a new system or something like that, my goal is to not, you know, perfect that system. My goal is to just get like the minimum thing on down in code or in the engine or something. And then I move on to something else to keep that the productivity going and to keep getting those wins, you know. Which now I'm at the part where I'm kind of doing the hard stuff. Jesus Christ. The number of temp polys is negative, big number. Okay, so polymap is empty right now. Why is that? That doesn't make sense. I think it's probably just you know what I should do? Yep, we're doing it. We're just gonna disable and enable optimization here, so I can actually see the real values. We're gonna need it, I have a feeling. It's not true. I have changes I would like to build. Thank you. I'm working on a lightning effect. It's a bit of a pain. Yeah, you are off into the polish weeds right now. Lightning is a nice to have, especially in the indie world, my man. Okay, can I actually see things now? I can. Okay. I don't know what to do about this. It's kind of hard to see what these fucking values are. I'm getting somewhere, but it's... Yeah, you're getting to where you don't need to be really, really efficiently. Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, just put some freaking blocks in the level, put a roof on it, and then just get some fucking circle actors to show up to that block, and sit down. But I'm having a blast. You can have a blast doing other things as well. You'll have a blast once you get this shitty block restaurant going. And not even that, you can just put a cube down in the world that is your food truck. And then you can spawn circles that line up at that food truck. And then leave. And disappear. And then what you do is you make a menu. And you put prices. Pill capsules. Even, dude, that's even better. That's like, that was like a whole other phase for me. But yeah, that's, you go straight there, even better. But like for me, when I started this, like, I knew I wanted to do a procedural world. I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about Unreal Engine, and I knew nothing about C++. But I knew I would need all of those things to do what I wanted to do, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know if I have the skills required to create a procedural terrain system. And so I think I spent the first like 3 or 4 months of me learning Unreal trying to make a procedural terrain system. And it was an absolute slog. But getting the world down first was the way I thought about it. So maybe that will help you. Maybe you can get the world down first. Do you want something static? Do you want something procedural? PCG can help you out a lot. You know, you just get in a some sort of height map, some sort of landscape. You can probably just use the default one for now. There's a default open world level. Do that, hop into PCG, just start spawning some building assets. There's some good shit on the Humble Bundle right now, the Liartrez or whatever. Tons of packs in there. They're pretty good looking stuff as well. Yeah, I don't. What do I do here? So I have all this polymap. I'm trying to find, and I have temp polys. What is temp polys? We're copying. Why are we copying here? Okay, we're reassigning. Okay. We're copying. Oh wait, are we copying from temp polys? We are. Okay. Polys j equals. What? Yeah, what is happening here? To do mem copy temp polys to polys. Isn't that what's happening here? Do I even need this? Mem copy temp polys to polys. That's literally what's happening here. Yeah, why do I feel like I don't need this actually? Okay, clearing that. Build nav mesh. Okay, so yeah, we still have the... I have too much data, essentially, here. Oh, what is this? Things are building. Am I doing that? Or is the engine doing that? I think the engine may be... And this is why it was running so poorly, I suppose. It's like generating shit. Yeah, what is happening under the hood right now? Let me run a trace real quick. Trace started. Give it a few seconds here. Okay, stop it. What is happening under the hood? Oh shit! I didn't have my tasks channel turned on. I can't tell what these things are waiting on. Finish dynamic mesh elements. I don't know why that would be happening. Unaccounted. Okay, let's try that again. Turn on the task thingo. My other channels that I need to actually see things. Stat named events, of course. Asset metadata. Okay. Trace. Trace started. Give it a few seconds. Okay, stopping. Okay, what is happening here? What are we waiting for? Parallel executes? I'm getting zero information about anything relevant to myself right now. Yeah, I have no idea. None of this is telling me anything right now. Oh, it's still going. Oops, stop that. If I go back, if I go into gameplay, is it still like that? Is it still super slow? Okay, yeah, this is playable. This is good. This is fine. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. Please decrease the size of your nav mesh tiles. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That was very laggy. Max link count is too large to fit in an unsigned short. Ooh. Tile 1? There was like 4 tiles? Where would the tile stuff be happening at? Make triangulation tile? Probably is a good place to start. Where's this being called from? What is TX, TY? What is this? Build tile mesh? Okay, where's this happening from? X. What is X? Tile count. Okay, what is tile count? Tile count is not a freaking number. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Wait, how would I even get here then? Oh, tile count equals 2. Okay, yeah, I don't want that. I'm gonna need a lot of tiles. I suppose I can just set that over here then. 2, okay. 20. Hello, please. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that nav mesh to generate. Okay, waiting. We're almost done, probably, sort of. Okay, we are done. Build nav mesh. Okay, same thing happened. Please decrease the size of your nav mesh tiles. Okay. That means adding more tiles, right? I am seeing bigger numbers on this tile log here, though. You know what? I'm gonna find where this message is being logged from and potentially throw a breakpoint there if I can. I can. Nice. Okay, let's do one here too, just in case this is the one. Okay, and then once we hit that, I can look at the stack trace to see where it's coming from and potentially figure some stuff out here. Tile size. Is that the tile size that I'm using in my manual? No, this is the tile size. Okay, tile size equals max.x minus min.x, which would be 12,000 minus negative 12,000, which would be, that's a difference of 24,000, divided by 20. 12,000, I mean, that's not very big. That's not very big. Is max size, which would be 24,000, divided by whatever magic number this is. Oh, the short max, okay. 32767.73. It would be cell size. Is that too big? I'm Moxie. What do you think our cell size should be? Oh, are you? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, alright, hang on. Did you get the snorts? Are you okay now? You don't know how to breathe sometimes, and you start getting the snorts, and then I have to plug your nose so you breathe through your mouth. She's a little piggy. You being a good girl. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Maybe... So I don't know if the problems that I'm seeing are from the min and max size that I have set, or rather just from the sheer number of points that I'm giving it. So that said something about 2,000. So let's just try negative 2,000. Oh, do I need a Z max? Okay, I only see X and Y. So I hope there's gonna be a no. No. Where's cell height coming from? Oh, okay, that's just like it's in the base class, the parent class. Not used anywhere else. Okay, so I reduced the minimax there. Now I have tile size set here. I don't know if I'm using that at all, but we'll turn that down as well, just in case. Okay, let's just run it again and see what happens. What happened here? What is this? Oh, excuse me. What is this? No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, I have to rebuild. Oh, did I actually hit that breakpoint? Is that why that happened? Okay. I just didn't think. I don't know why it would breakpoint me right there. Blank is too large to fit in an unsigned short. Text. Set header short. Oh, it's a lambda. That's why it was being weird about the breakpoint. Okay. And it was max link count, I remember now. Where's max link count coming from? Edge count plus portal count. Okay, so where do I call this create nav mesh data from? It comes from in here. Okay. And I just give it some params. Okay. And then a lot of shit happens. I mean, I guess let me look. Yeah, let's throw a breakpoint right there, and we can see. Oh, this is not my code. Hang on. I thought this was my code. Here's my code. Make triangulation tile. Oh, I should probably fill that stuff out. That would probably be important, wouldn't it? Walkable height and stuff like that. Dare I click debug draw? Where are these things at? Edit defaults only. Category detour. Walkable height. Hang on. Okay, so where? Edit defaults. Would that have to be inside of a blueprint? It would, okay. Okay. We're gonna use that then. Nav, where is it? Here we go. BP, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Manual, yep, there we go. Okay. Save it all. And then let's change this back. Okay, minimax set. Tile count. I guess take that back up to 20. Still don't know how that's affecting the algorithm. Walkable height. Let's just do 50. Walkable radius. Let's just set them all to 50. Build BV tree. No idea what that means. Okay, yeah, we hit that breakpoint again. What up, nerds? Acheron, hello and welcome. I just got a load of guns and I still don't know what conflict my game needs to facilitate guns as a game mechanic. Oh, zombie apocalypse, there you go. Easy. Easy. I just got a load of guns. Yeah, so how's this getting called? This is called from like a threaded worker task, it seems. So I thought I could trace this back to my code. I don't think I can. But I can see where things, like the parameters, there should be the parameters here somewhere. Max link count is 58. I have zombies, but I really want a living world. Yeah, but that would require other players, which are a hot commodity in the indie game world. What kind of conflict? Just make one of those mobile game ads. I don't know, I'm never a gun game kind of guy. I used to be when I was, like, don't get me wrong, Xbox Live, Halo, COD 4, that was my shit. I'm not really playing much anymore. I think the last gun game I played was fucking Fortnite. For me, the biggest barrier for a good zombie game nowadays is the need to make an infinitely large world in a very finite capacity. You want endless. You want an endless procedural world, you say? Well, you've come to the right place. I have no zombies, but I do have one of those things. Yeah, these numbers seem fine. 32. 54. Okay, I guess let's okay, we continue. Well, I guess I shouldn't have used that as an example because that was just for the okay, it's doing different things now. Just doing different things. Also trying to do the PvE because I despise needing to interact with other players outside a cooperative setting. Yeah, I feel you there. It's hard to design around that. So you want the world to be alive, and you want guns. I mean, you could just do like a Fallout type setting, or like a you know, society is crumbling and everyone just grabbed the guns from their basement and is going to the grocery store. do something like that. I'm in the opposite boat. I feel like extraction shooters make up a poor man's MMO structure. I don't know if that's a compliment to the genre or a dig at the genre. I could see that going both ways. So what is happening with my... Oh wait, this is probably... Is this my old one still? No, because I have that one turned off. There's my detour navigation. Okay. Yeah, what's going on? Oh, I turned the tile size way down. That's why it's looking like this. My setting is near the Great Depression, so there's plenty of strife to draw from. Oh, that's great. Do like an uprising. Do a poor person uprising. I feel like this is like a prequel to Frostpunk. Running through the streets, mowing down the elite. Sounds fun. It's like Toontown, but realistic. You know, you're just fighting a bunch of corporation guys, throwing pies in their faces. Am I the only one that remembers Toontown? Okay, build the triangulation. Triangulation is built. Build nav mesh. Okay. We are here. Now, did I let's put that breakpoint back. Look at these tile params real quick. Okay. These are null. I don't know if I need these. Poly count 29k. And what did they say the max short size was? It was like 37k or something like that. There's only 68 references to the word short. I can find the comment somewhere. There we go, short max. 32k is the short max. Gotcha. Gotcha, okay. Okay, now Rider's frozen. Okay, there we go. We're back, we're back. In my eyes, it's a compliment, similar to how Guild Wars 1 and 2 aren't technically MMOs in back-end server context, but they had to argue with their customers about it. Oh, do they not? Are they doing like what do you mean by that? Like server sharding or something like that? Like they're not MMOs because they're doing a bunch of smoke and mirrors type stuff. Where there is a I mean, none of these are over 32k. They're very close. They're very close. Poly count is 29k. Poly areas is question mark. I don't know if question mark is greater than or less than 32k. They are very close. Do I have any logs yet? Okay, no. Skip forward. Okay, we're here. It was max link count, I think it was. Oh, yeah, that is larger. 97k is larger. So where the hell does that come from? Max link count. max link count is edge count plus portal count. Edge count is 0, and then we iterate over poly count, which is 29k. And then we iterate over NVP. Jesus Christ. Which is 6. So this is like some sort of triangulation happening here. J is less than 6, edge count. Yeah, so we're doing 6 times poly count. Yeah, so that's why we would get a larger number. Okay, so we're still going to have that same issue. Max link count is too large to fit in an unsigned short. Boy, I would sure love to not be using shorts right now. Boy, oh boy. Header values, some header values are too low. Yeah. So that's just like right below where we were. Max link count. Is that the only thing? I just have to worry about the link count. Okay, so let me change some values then and see. Where am I? Am I in a loop right now? Build tile mesh. Oh boy, I am in a big loop, aren't I? Okay. So tile count. What is tile count right now? 20. Okay. Yeah, let's change that to something bigger or smaller. And see how it changes. Okay, yep. Yeah. Okay, now we're super laggy, which is great. Where is the manual thing? There it is. Tile count. If I change it to something bigger, 40, am I going to get smaller numbers? Guild Wars 1 was very instanced. Ah, I see. Where only the hub cities were really populated with other players. Wait, what is happening? Boy, my nav mesh is trying to do something. Yeah, I would say that that is not a proper nav mesh. Yeah, that don't look right. What were we saying here? Guild Wars 1 was very instance, where only the hub cities were really populated with other players. Yeah, that definitely does not have an MMO feel. I only vaguely played Guild Wars 2. Very, very slightly. Got some better resource gathering and swimming anims, so I can have the light survival crafter elements I wanted. That's awesome. I love getting anims. Honestly, they really bring life to the game. And then Guild Wars 2 came out, and ArenaSoft was very adamant about it not being an MMO by technicality, and the user base were like, nah, it's totally an MMO. Well, dude, that's a lot more straightforward than most fucking... Like, I feel like a lot of games come out, they're like, it's an MMO, and it's fucking not at all. Similar to how players of Final Fantasy were pissed about a 60-hour MSQ, but the writers were like, dude, it's a Final Fantasy game first, then an MMO. Yeah. And this is all in reference to a comment made about extraction shooters being a poor man's MMO. The ones I had were some rough UE4 ones, so they had that hunched shoulder look and were not great. Were you putting it on the UE5 mannequin? That does look funny. Some of these tiles are actually generated okay. It's like super laggy. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do to make this work. So let's do like I can barely click on shit here. Tile count. It was at 2. Let's change it to 5. 5 tiles. Build nav mesh. Okay, now everything's too high, it seems. Okay, so we need more. Let's stop that to get our resources back here. Yeah, Acheron, I 100% agree with you. The definition is skewed. I mean, it shouldn't be. Like, people are skewing it with really no fucking reason to. Like, what fucking game came out that said it was an MMO and I was like, what? Oh, was it Lost Ark? Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know. Like, I never played Lost Ark, so maybe it is, and I'm thinking of the wrong game. But I was just like, seeing that game, I'm like, what? That looks like Diablo. Like, Diablo is not an MMO. Am I generating it at runtime? Yeah. So all this is generated at runtime, procedurally. And I'm trying to like make my own nav mesh to be more efficient. And this is like the regular. This is a regular nav mesh being generated. I'm trying to run my own code here. Because like I have all the vertice information. Like if I go into wireframe, turn that off so you can see like all of the triangles in here, every point on these triangles, I have that data. Like I put all these points here, right? Like I have the code that generated all these points. And so like it feels bad to me to have to like generate the nav mesh at runtime if I already have like all this information. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Let's go chop a tree. I have procedural tree chopping too. There we go. Check that out. Yeah, don't yep, that's those are the real physics. I actually like, oh, that was a good chop. You can like kind of chop it multiple times. Yeah, ignore some of the material wonkiness there. And I have wood. The lowest form of wood. Okay. So small tile was no good. Small tile no bueno. Or small tile count. Wait. Okay, no, I restarted. The terrain is also being generated at runtime. Yeah. So I wrote my own like terrain generation algorithm and stuff. And like the world map I generated as well. Like here's the world map. So there's the character right there, and then each one of these different colors is like a different it's a different zone, and they have mountains around them, and the little white dots are like the entrances into each zone where the break in the mountains are. And they should all have, there's like, I think I have like 4 or 5 different types of noise that can be rendered. And then I have like 2 different biomes. So I have like a foresty one, and then we're in the plains one, the meadows one right now. Oh shit, ignore that. We're in the meadows one right now. But it's blending with the nearby forest one. MMORPG subreddit is tilted. I read that subreddit. I follow that subreddit. Oh, from our Nightingale conversation, they split the hotbar into main hand and offhand. So the 7 to 0 keys swap your offhand tools. They split the hotbar into main hand and offhand. So the 7 to 0 keys swap your offhand. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not big into like my hot bar. I'm gonna have it fully like programmable. Like you can bind whatever you want to whatever you want. I'll have a default, of course, but yeah, I'm not huge on like dictating the player controls. Yeah, what is all this happening here? Why are they all blinking? Build the triangulation? What was that? Uh-oh. Okay, so I believe I've tried to get the vertices of an invalid LOD mesh, of an invalid procedural mesh. For some reason. Oh, I'm gonna dictate player controls and controller support is a DLC. You're gonna get a promotion with that kind of thinking. EA or Ubisoft, they're gonna fucking hire you up in a minute. I need to get into Procgen terrain. I want to do an endless dungeon diver and want it to have terrain style floors. Interesting. Right now I'm working on dungeon corridors and tunnels. Cool. That sounds cool. Yeah, I need to do some procedural dungeons myself. I would like to have some procedural caves and you know, maybe castles or something as well. Something along those lines. I think I'll probably end up using PCG for the non-terrain things, as I do with the biome stuff. But the caves probably will be my own hand-rolled thingy. Okay, triangulate. The triangulation is built. Okay, let's hop over to the... Where's the nav mesh now? It moved on me. Wait, what the hell? I have no nav mesh? Where did my nav mesh go? Did my project settings not save? No, they did not. Okay, run it back. I am starting to feel that this is going to be quite unrealistic. Oh dear. Pause it. Try that again. I don't know why that happened. Okay, okay. Triangulate. And then here's the nav mesh. Thank you, please. Do I have all the things I need? Tile count was 20. I mean, how many tiles would you say are in this? Like hundreds, probably? Let's do 100 and see what happens. Oh god, I can't wait to see my computer just catch on fire. Okay, build a nav mesh. It's building. Things are happening. Yeah, I mean, I may just end up making a rudimentary I mean, if I just run A star on my verts, like, I should get... Okay, 39 seconds, not bad. Okay, I didn't get any debug errors there. So that's a first. These tiles that are generating are interesting. I have absolutely abhorrent performance. I would like those to generate not just in a ring around my character. Oh, okay. Now we're failing on a bunch of tiles now. Try increasing the tile pool size or using bigger tiles. Yeah, so I guess I should probably use... Now I'm wondering actually, let me zoom way in. I want to see if these match up with the vertices I have. Because I'm giving it like a metric fuckload of verts. Okay, yeah, it doesn't match up with the verts really at all. Okay, I was a little worried that like these tiles that we see are just like the because it's got like a default behavior that runs at the beginning. That's what we've been seeing run at the beginning, and I'm wondering if these are just the ones that are like it generated these ones because these ones are the default behavior ones, and now it's trying to do the ones that I made, and it's like, yeah, we can't do that. $256 tile limit reached. Yeah, it's trying to do a lot. Okay. Try increasing fixed pool tile size. Where did my... It didn't spawn my nav mesh still. It's like, it's only there when I start the game. There it is. So I did 100. No portals, no flags. Do no portals. Tile size. Yeah, I think I need to reduce the resolution of the points that I'm sending in. Let's do that real quick, actually. That shouldn't be too bad, right? I should just be able to... Now this might actually take longer because I'm not just appending. I'll have to do a yeah. Okay, and so okay, so I want to add maybe every, because there's 240. And then if I divide that by, what's my lower res one? 5. So 240 divided by 5 is what I do there. So that's 48 by 48, which would be that's 2,000 verts. That is a drastic amount less than my highest res, which is 50. Well, it should be 241 by 241, right? Yeah, 58,000. How do I want to do this? Because I would like them to be all the same resolution. Verts, I will increment it myself, I think. If verts.num and where do I store that at? Detail levels. Plus equals 5. Is that the math? The Copilot just do the right thing right there? Let's do verts.isValidIndexI as well. Okay. That this will probably make the triangulation take quite a bit more time. Quite a bit more time. But let's see it. I'll probably sacrifice the triangulation time if it improves the building the nav mesh time. Okay. Yeah, my manual detour nav mesh. Okay, so we have tile count still at 20, and I had like 100 before. Yeah, let's see if there's, let's leave it at 20 actually and see. We'll do no portals. I need to do the triangulation. Okay, that still took like 0 amount of time. I only have 131,000 vertices that are being considered here, so that's a lot less. Yeah, I think I had 500,000 before, somewhere around there. Build nav mesh. Oh, look at that! That is doing things, is it not? So how it started and how it's going. Look at that, that's crazy. What is happening? Tile limit reached. Yeah, this ain't right. Now, seems that... Oh, what is this? What is happening here? Yeah, so a lot of this is someone else's code, and I'm just trying to shoehorn my own code into it. So I have no idea. I think this may be happening. Okay, so what's happening, I think, to set it to 2000, which that might be that distance, like negative 2000. That is right at world center. Interesting. Okay, let's maybe my min and max need to be different. Okay, so I have 221 terrain chunks. What is the square root of that? I have about 14 in each direction. Or is that diameter or radius? And I think that would be diameter. So each chunk is 12,000. Let's just do 15 to be safe. Times 12. 180. Okay, so we're gonna see if this blows up my computer. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, build the triangulation. Yeah, that went fast as fuck. Okay, nothing happened that time. That thing still got drawn. This is probably where the performance hit is coming. Debug, if you do a ton of debug drawings, it really tanks the performance. Okay, interesting. I wish I could reset the nav mesh somehow, easily. Debug draw is not turned on. Why does making the bounds this big make it, can I just do negative 12,000? Okay. Oh, that looks like something. That's looking like a nav mesh. It's running a lot shittier than the Unreal one, which who would have thought that? Who would have thought my code would run worse than the Unreal Engine built by navigation experts? Which I don't even know if this is my code running per se. Like this could... It looks like my code might just be fucking with the default implementation in these debug drawings here. These debug drawings What is this? Why are there 4 tiles here? So that generated some terrain, some nav mesh. But I've drawn way too many tiles. I feel like what's probably happening is like this is some remnant of the actual, because there's no way my code did that. Right? This looks almost the exact same as the Unreal Engine code. I feel like what's happening is like that's just like some sort of byproduct of whatever dog shit is happening under here. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here to even get this remotely feasible. What do I do? What do I do about this? So here's the problem. Here's the overall context of the problem that I'm having. The overall context of the problem is I want to do a colony simulator game where the world is as fully simulated as possible. And my world is procedurally generated at runtime and goes on for quite some time. It is finite, but it is quite large. And traditionally, what a game would do would be, a massive open world game, is that you would just turn off everything outside of a particular radius of a player, right? And that's fine for all those games, that works perfectly, but not when you want a colony simulator to actually fully simulate, right? And I don't mean like just running an equation for like, how much fucking meat per minute a hunter can gather, right? I don't want to do that. I want the real thing, or at least as close as possible. I want the hunter in memory to actually be running around and to actually find wolves and deer and shit and hunt them and fight them and potentially die from them, right? I don't just want to run some RNG. And I want player buildings placement to matter at all times, right? Like I don't want the player to build a colony, put their buildings in an efficient layout, or maybe an inefficient layout, and then go off somewhere way across the world, and then of course everything despawns when they get too far away. And their colony runs either more or less efficiently, because an equation is just ticking in the background. I don't want that. And so what I was trying to do was use the vertex information from my procedural mesh terrain chunks to create a nav mesh. And I did find some guys, like he has a website where he kind of made his own nav mesh with his own algorithms and stuff. And he had a GitHub repo, so I cloned that and started copying some code over. It's very fucking complicated. It's very, very complicated. So, yeah, that's what I've been trying to get working, because I would, if what he was showing were some preliminary results where he could generate it very fast and very efficient. Reading his posts, it got more complicated as he went on. I may have that. Do I have it over here? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so I guess this guy's making a strategy game 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. And he would like to be able to move units from one side of the map to the other and have full pathfinding. And so he goes on this rabbit hole adventure of extending the recast nav mesh and doing a bunch of stuff. And maybe, because this is like his first article where it's not as complicated, even though it may look it. So I may try to just patch together what he has in here, because this is not the same as what he has in his GitHub. Okay, testing. Let's see what kind of results he got from this first pass. Clusters that he doesn't know what they do. Speed comparison. With a cell size of 1.0 and a 1200 by 1200 volume and tile size 600. So that's like 2 tiles, or that's 4 tiles. Recast takes 11 seconds. Wait, what? Why would that take 11 seconds for recast to build that? I mean, I guess for all the cells, but he shows here that his manual nav mesh builds in 0.008 seconds. So yeah, I want that. It doesn't look like he really tests the pathfinding much other than this, which seems like it wasn't fully correct. We almost get the right result, but there's one more thing to set. Okay. Yeah, so I may, rather than trying to do his finished result, try to do this, which seems simpler. This was also for UE4.25. So there's also that fun that we get to consider. Yeah, but I may dig through this and try to get it working off stream. I don't want to do that on stream because it's going to be a lot of me just like fucking copying and pasting code and cursing quite a bit probably. Not that I don't do that a lot anyway. Not that I don't do that a lot anyway. So with that being said, what do I want to do now? I think I'm going to take my dogs outside right now. And I'll let you guys stare at the world while I do that. Okay, we're back. And we're back. Yeah, so the navigation, the attempt at manually building my own navigation, did not go well. Not on our first pass. I'm going to try again off stream. So I'm going to try again with this guy's information here. Phoenix! Welcome back! Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that, mate. Custom nav mesh. What do you need that the Unreal ones are missing? Performance. To say it briefly. I essentially, like, it's for Colony Sim reasons, right? Like, I want the world to be fully simulated even when the character is not around. And right now, because the world is so big, I have to use navigation invokers, which just builds the navigation around, you know, an actor. One, this is building quite slow, and it takes up quite a bit of performance. I have been able to tweak it to not do that so much, just with the built-in Unreal stuff. But what I need is when the player runs like across the map on the other side of the world, I still want the colonies to be simulating. And I want it, I don't just mean like an equation running in the background, I mean like actors actually moving places. Of course they'll be like turned off, right? They're not going to have physics or collision or movement, right? But I do need some sort of nav mesh to move them around on in memory, essentially. And because I want hunters to actually be able to run out in the woods and find wolves and shoot them and potentially get killed by them. And I want that to happen when the player is forever away, you know, really far away. And I want player building placement to matter. Right, like if you lay out your colony in a really inefficient way that takes people a long time to get, you know, to their jobs or whatever they need to do, I want that to be the same no matter where you are in the world. You know, I don't want your colony to be any more or less efficient if you're there versus not there, you know. I want the real thing. So that's what I was trying to do. I made a little bit of progress. I mean, things were happening. It was not good by any means. And I was kind of loosely following. This is the only resource I've been able to find on doing what I'm trying to do. And this guy had a GitHub that I cloned and tried to just shoehorn my own stuff into it. And I got it to where it was doing things and not crashing, but it was not generating a proper nav mesh. So I'm going to try again on that off stream, probably. But I'm kind of thinking now, what do I want to do? I didn't know the Unreal implementation had performance issues, but I guess the use case isn't super common. Yeah, I think it's just performance issues for what I want to use it for. I think it's probably fine for most cases, right? Like, most cases you just have a large open world that's static and pre-baked, right? So it's a lot more efficient to build a nav mesh on, I would presume. But for mine, that's like fully runtime generated and dynamic. It's probably quite a bit harder. And even if it was performant enough to render, storing it in memory for the size of the world, like this is a very, very small fraction of the world that we're seeing here. And then even if it could do this whole thing, what if the player is further away, and this isn't even rendered? I would need to keep the nav mesh in memory, which is not a default implementation of it. That's not. I would have to tweak that as well to get it to not disappear when the collision of the things disappear. So, yeah, definitely not a common use case. But yeah, this guy, he did multiple passes at it, it seems. Yeah, like I guess this is his first one right here, and then he has like 4, and then probably the one I cloned is of his last one, which is pretty complicated. So I'm just going to start with this simple one later, off stream at some point. But if that doesn't work, what am I going to do? I was also thinking that, like, I have the vertex information for all of my procedural mesh terrain chunks, so I could just kind of pass that into some simplified version of those vertices into an A-star algorithm and, you know, potentially use that. I was also thinking that I could just somehow save the paths. You know, like, these jobs may be somewhat repetitive, right? So I could just save some of the navigation paths that have been done for, like, and this will actually help for, like, the colony building stuff. Like, they're going to be beds, and they're going to be laying down in these beds, and everyone's going to have a bed that they go to at night or whenever they need to sleep. And so I could save that path. And of course, it's going to depend on where they are in the world, but really just the path for once they get to the front door of their house or wherever. Once it gets onto the building, that way I don't have to, like, because it could be easy-ish to do just the terrain because I have all that data, but, like, for the static meshes that I can build in the world, you know, let's throw some. Oh, of course, my logic doesn't work anymore because I removed the tag. This is what happens when I refactor things, right? Actor is a okay, that should probably fix that. Probably. But yeah, you know, saving the I guess I'll call them the indoor paths could help, but there's still some complication there. Yeah, it's gonna be a very complicated problem to solve. I mean, would I even need to store the paths, or maybe just, like, storing the time it takes to get to the bed, or something like that? I guess it would depend on what I'm trying to get at. And when I say get at, I mean, like, what task the colonist is doing, and, like, how much do I want to simulate that? I guess that's kind of the fallback if I can't generate something rudimentary to use, and it would be very nice. There's my building back. Come on, get up there. God, the material, I made the materials very light on here. I need to make them a bit darker. I can barely see them. Okay. Door. Nice little window. Some stairs in the corner. Somehow I've targeted something. I don't understand how that is the case. Definitely seems like keeping a big cache of paths would be helpful. It also might be helpful to consolidate vertices like Google Map does for highways. Yeah, and I have like I have different LODs for you can see, like, this denser part is a higher LOD, and so I would probably do some lower level of detail for the vertices if I were to use those. Difficult for sure at this scale. Yeah, it's I would really like to see what I can get away with. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not being productive at this point. I'm just building a little house. And my ceilings don't work. Where's the ceiling? The ceilings just they just act like walls. They do not. It does not like looking at the foundation. You know, there might be a way I can like. I don't think I can. Yeah, can't build it there. But yeah, you can imagine like a second floor with like a bed. I should be able to build a bed, unless I've broken that as well. Cannot find. Yeah, I seem to have broken that as well. Can I put it on the ground? Can't put it. Oh, oh. I saw a spot where I could build it. What happened in that spot? Oh, okay, bed. Okay, so yeah, you can. So yeah, you could have paths stored, but then like that would require the colonists to be in like the same spot, you know, on the start of that path to get to the end. So there's going to be a lot of variance there. You can imagine if a colonist is like doing farm work, they're going to go sow each or reap each crop, right? They're going to be in a different location every time when they're done with that. And, you know, they might need to get up and go eat food or something, you know? So, even storing... Because really all the information I get is for that on that path is just like where to put them when the character gets back into range, you know? So maybe the path information may not even be that useful. Unless I store quite a bit. And I would have to store it on like each colonist. Each colonist would have like probably their own set of paths on how to like get to different places around the colony. And then when the player runs out of range, just like never use the cached ones when the player is in range, and then it's like whatever the last one saved was, last sets of ones were saved, then use that whenever the player exits, you know, render range or whatever. Yeah, I definitely think just having a rudimentary nav mesh with some simplified terrain vertices and doing like just an A star for the pathfinding to get them like to an entrance of a building, and then maybe I just cache ones inside the building. Because those could be standard for all colonists, right? You know, to get to the second floor, you know, the path starts here, go here, you know, blah, 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 go up here. And then I also want there to be, like, actual pathways that the player can build. So those could potentially be saved as well. But for things like, I guess I'm thinking about like the most difficult case here with hunting. Oh, I can actually target the building somehow. But for the use case of a colonist going out hunting, or that's kind of the hardest case. Hitting a lot of assertions I probably shouldn't be hitting. I mean, even going out and chopping wood would be something that I would need to like kind of fully simulate. I would need to store the tree locations. Oh boy. PCG already takes up so much RAM. Kind of interesting, I'm only taking up 5 gigs of RAM right now in Unreal Engine. That's a lot better than I usually do. But yeah, I guess there would need to be like a... What if I did something like, yeah, get rid of that, I don't care about that. I want to see how far I can get away with generating my PCG graph. This is trees. Okay, so let's put this on a grid size. So I believe I've put foliage there. Probably put everything. Well, I guess I can put it here. Okay, that's the grid size for all that stuff. And then for the trees, the grid size can be quite large. Let's try 100. Here, let's try that. Yeah, the 6400 is fine here. Scooch this around. Okay. Now I may need to do that to the meadow graph as well. Or, I mean, I don't really have any trees in the meadow graph, so I'm just going to put this at the front. Okay, save all that. Okay, let's just run it again without changing any of the generation settings first. We frozen? Oh no, we're doing a lot of stuff here. There we go. Oh, see, I fall through the world whenever it freezes. Let's try it again. We'll just wait patiently. Okay, this seems kind of pretty typical. You can still see foliage from quite far away. Yeah, the foliage radius is quite far, much farther than I probably need the foliage to be. PCG biome core. Open up this guy. And so this is like the default. Oh yeah, turn it really. So let's turn it high. Yeah, I'm generating foliage very, very far away. I mean, I'm still running at 120 frames. Let's run around a little bit. It's honestly not too bad. That kind of hitched quite a bit there. Yeah, I mean, it drops down to like 50 FPS. It goes from like 120 to 50. Yeah, right there. Okay, and so the reason I'm testing this out, I'm trying to see how far away I can get the tree information. Because that's going to matter for like tree chopping. Which is something I hadn't really thought of before. Having to store where the trees are at all times is a lot. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I mean, maybe you just can't chop trees too far away from your colony? I mean, that feels kind of bad. I mean, I am kind of... They're getting cold, so you can't actually see them, but like... How they pop up instantly at this, so it's like I'm actually generating the points for them this far away. So that means I have the data in memory from here all the way over to my character, which is actually a pretty fucking good distance. I don't need all the foliage data. I thought putting that grid size on there would grid size is larger than graph default and will automatically be clamped. Why is it larger than the graph default? I set it like super high. Yeah, there's some stuff about PCG I do not understand. Okay, we're regenerating again. There we go. It says grid size is larger than graph default grid size and will be automatically clamped. There are actually docs on this. So I'm going to look at those. Okay. base generation radius applies to non-partition components. Okay, that doesn't matter to me. Do I need to... hang on. Okay, there's no setting on there for partitioning. It's possible to generate duplicate point data when passing from a larger grid to a smaller grid. This occurs when data generated for a larger grid is replicated in every grid cell of a smaller grid and will significantly impact performance. Yeah, so the grid size node should override the default of the hierarchical generation grid size. And it says it can go from large to small, but it can't go from small to large, but I don't understand why, because the default grid size is higher than what these are set to. Oh, this grid size, I mean, does this one matter? Ah. Oh. Does this feel any different? I don't know if this feels any different. The foliage is generating from very far away. Yeah, foliage, take that down. I don't know, because like this is like the parent one. This is the parent graph. So I don't know like how the parent affects the children graph and how that relates to the node, the grid size node. I still feel like the same amount of things are generated. Yeah, we're like way out here. Okay, so like right there. And then if I were to change this, well, let's change, because that's the forest one, change that to that. Yeah, I don't know that anything changed there. Other than my memory usage, of course. Yeah, still a little laggy. Yeah, I guess I need to figure out this hierarchical generation stuff. I suppose like things like this could also be ore, which would need to be something that can be gone out and gathered by colonists. So yeah, I would need to save their... I'm wondering if... Like, I don't know, is there... So I have like a graph for each biome. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some way to like output data from such a graph. Is essentially what I would need is like these points, right? Because these are the trees, the static mesh spawner. I mean, I assume there's a way. Because like I want the player to be able to draw like an area to chop trees in. Then maybe I just cache the trees at that point. But then I guess you can also do like, oh yeah, chop trees within a radius of the colony. So, I mean, it would be nice to be able to generate the trees completely separate from the rest of this stuff. Yeah, and then you got stuff like the forage shit. Ugh. I'm wondering if I should just treat each colonist as like a player, you know, and then just see how many I can get away with and try to optimize it from there. Now that I'm thinking about this deeper, I mean, there's going to be a lot of shit that I need to like keep track of in memory. And I guess, how does the PCG stuff, how does this decide what actors to like listen to? Yeah, how does this know? Does it just do player characters or something? I would like PCG to eventually generate a lot of other things as well, like towns and dungeons, which I would need the data from those as well. Yeah, what, let me go back to those docs. Generation sources. Okay, where does this come from? Where are the generation sources? If you use the Matrix demo, even with a predefined proc gen, the nav mesh is pretty easily busted for transition areas like curbs. It has gotten much better since then. I'm not sure what demo you're talking about. Is this like a Matrix, like a city? Generation source. Where did I put the generation sources? Transition areas like curbs. Huh. It seems like they just need to increase the step height or something. The city sample. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with what that project's all about. Where the hell are my generation sources? Where do I set that somewhere, right? I know I did. Yeah, I need something. I'm just thinking about all the things that I would want, and like, it's gonna be fucking nigh impossible. With it's 90 gigs, but there's a lot of nice materials and spawning lessons to be learned. Yeah, I'm sure you could just take some stuff from their graphs. Well, if it's anything like the Electric Dreams demo, then it's gonna be pretty complicated and hard to just like copy and paste. But probably some good techniques in there. Because I do want some procedurally generated villages, right? Like, or potentially even the player letting their colonists build their houses and stuff where they want to. And learn texture splatting from it. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this, honestly. Yeah, how would I solve this? I mean, I'm using 13 gigs of RAM right now. You know, maybe a packaged build would be better than that. Maybe there's some things in memory that don't need to be. But I'm thinking that storing all of these points in memory for, like, trees and foraging food and ore. Have you packed yet? No, I have not. No, I have not. Yeah, package to test. Yeah, I assume that's what you meant, but no, I haven't. I don't want to deal with like the swath of errors that are inevitably going to occur. Two years and I still haven't packaged a project. Hey, same here. Same here. Yeah, I mean, I really just need to, like, start trying shit out. I need to try to figure out a way for PCG to, like, save certain points. It would be nice if PCG were to just get more memory efficient in general, because it uses a lot of memory. I'm hoping in a package build it's a bit better, but yeah, here's the hoping. It was like, I don't know, like doing that nav mesh stuff, I was storing like millions of vertices, and like that doesn't take up that much memory, right? Could I write shit to the drive? Could I serialize shit to save on memory? Could I have like a SQLite database or something, maybe even? And like whenever something or someone gets close enough, you know, just make sure you load that stuff well in advance. Dr. Elliot, hello. I'm sitting here contemplating ways to solve my problems, and I'm not coming up with any great ways. I was trying to write my own nav mesh, which I somewhat succeeded in. It was really bad. It was extraordinarily bad. I'm going to take another crack at it offline. You've got a solution? Oh, thank God. Keep them to yourself. No, that's not what Twitch is about. You're supposed to get on Twitch and share your problems with everyone, right? We all just get on here and commiserate. I thought that's what this was about. I thought this was supposed to be cheaper than therapy. Both you and your character are staring off into the middle distance. This is a mood. Yeah, it is kind of a pretty scene right here. Yeah, so Elliot, what I want for my Colony Sim part of my game. I've seen people create their own recast nav mesh and had success with it. What's your issue? Dude, where have you found that? Like, the only resources I found on that... We can get rid of that for now. The only resources I found on that are this one guy's fucking blog post from like 4 years ago. And so he had a GitHub, and I tried to copy it and clone it and get it working with what I have, but it wasn't going super well. Because, like, the code for it is just monstrous. Like, here's the header file for the manual detour nav mesh. Right, like, look at all this shit. I mean, look at these functions. Like, there's so much. So what I'm wanting to do is like not have to like half-ass simulate my Colony Sim stuff when the player is away, right? Because like right now, I'm just using navigation invokers around my character, and the world is a lot. This is just a small subset of the world, and I would like the player to be able to build colonies all over the world. You know, probably not going to be this big when I'm done, but and I want those colonies to actually be running when the player's not around. And obviously I'm not going to be able to use the default nav mesh and just, first of all, save that when I'm not around somehow, and second of all, have that be performant enough and take up as little memory as possible to be able to move actors around in memory. A nav mesh wouldn't be your solution anyway. You need AI virtualization. Is that a thing I can search? I mean, I've been working on simulating my AI, my actors and stuff, and so I have been able to just like, you know, turn them off essentially, and then just like move them along a spline. But as for generating what that spline is, all I've got is point A and point B. You know, where they start and where they need to go. I would like that to actually pathfind, because I want the players' like buildings to matter, right? Where they place all their buildings and stuff. I know, of course Elliot would tell you that you're thinking about it wrong. Yeah, of course he's like, oh yeah, there's a thing built in for that. People are doing that all the time. I'm like, what, dude? I fucking searched for this all weekend and I couldn't find anything. Hang on, I gotta find the video. Hell yeah, dude. Elliot coming in, dude. He's gotta go through his Discord channel and dig through the resources.
It's really extraordinary being surrounded by such scale.
We'll do the first season justice, I hope. It's good to
Watch one move to an unloaded area, it turns into several red dots. Here we hit the first drawback to the system. The zombies all spawn on the edge of the loaded zone around me, and there's no carried over command for where they should go. This leaves any further spread up to random chance and rally groups. Rally groups are also not great at this. While it does end up pushing some groups out of the horde, it doesn't move them very far, meaning we get this pattern too.
You're never going to be able to create a ton of characters running around. You're going to have to simulate it without them actually being actors running around on navigation. I mean, yeah, that's what I was going for. I was just trying to get a very simple form of navigation. But I guess what you're also saying is I can't even keep them as actors. Unless you just use mass entity. Alright, another thing to Google. You know, this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for Dr. Elliot. We're going to have to fake it. Probably skip back a bit. Basically, the white zombies physically exist, the yellow ones are partially simulated, and the red is fully virtualized. Mass entity would take you down a couple month-long rabbit hole, though. Are there, of course there's no Unreal Engine docs on this. Yeah, this is definitely some stuff I'll have to look into. How big is the Zomboid map, Elliot? Ads again, dude, bro. Holy shit, YouTube.
Protected from an area as you kill off the closer groups, allowing them to spread out and feel almost infinite. Respawns fill in areas you have already killed zombies in, making it appear that they walked in. Something I find interesting is that the respawn hours tooltip references a cell, while the respawn unseen hours tooltip references chunks. To test this out, I did a test run with migration turned off and peak day set to day 1. Then I cleared the zombies from a cell and waited. Lo and behold, it did start respawning zombies in some grids near me, but not within the loaded area. The loaded area must be the scene area reference, which is slightly larger than you can zoom out and see in 1440p or lower resolutions. Yes, you heard that correctly. Your resolution determines how far you can see. Respawns all.
So you said 16 by 16. Is that kilometers? Doesn't matter because they're all. I mean, what I envision in my. I don't know what the Unreal version of this would be, but in my head, I'm picturing just having some things in memory, just like some, you know, just some sort of pointer, you know, just moving around on the map, right? But I just need the X, Y, and Z location of where that is, and I would like that to be the same, or at least as close as possible to what they would be doing when you know, everything is actually rendered and stuff. And yeah, I guess I don't know how to get from Unreal Land to that, which is why I was trying to make my own nav mesh that was like essentially just copying my terrain chunk vertices. God, Ellie, you just used way too many acronyms for me. I don't even understand. Mass entity is just an ECS system, so basically suck my dick, okay? Because data-oriented will always destroy object-oriented when it comes to performance. Entity component system. Yeah, I don't know these acronyms. Single instruction, multiple data. Oh, like crowd control type stuff. I mean, I guess something like that would work better for zombies, where like they're just kind of wandering randomly. Thanks for using sock puppets and crayons for me. Yeah, me too, Turning Cog. But yeah, I guess that works for like zombies, right? Because like you would be using the single instruction on multiple zombies, and they're just kind of random, right? And it doesn't matter what the instruction is, really. I think you'll just need to come up with your own system. Yeah, I mean, I had some ideas. Like, I was just gonna like cache some paths to like interpolate upon based on the time that has passed since the player, you know, last saw them, right? And then calculate how much has happened since then. And, you know, potentially using like a simplified version of my terrain chunks is just storing vertices that characters can move upon, or simulatedly move upon. But I guess the difference here between something like Zomboid and what I'm going for is that everything is intentional, and use some U-object version of the character to simulate some simple data, like gathering resources. Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't understand like how performance impactive are actors, right? Because I thought I could just like turn basically everything off on the actor, but keep it in memory, and it might not be too bad. It's a really tough system you're trying to build. Yeah. I've been sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna fucking suck. Because I'll need to save like where the fucking trees are in the world, where the fucking resources are in the world. Unless I want to buy into... I'm on my own unless I want to buy into UDN. I am not sure what that is. But yeah, like the thing, like... Zombie is just an animation and aggression level, not much else is different than normal NPCs. I mean, I guess the thing with my NPCs is that I was saying, like, things are intentional. Like, they're going... They have, like, a schedule for the day. They have behaviors. They have AI behaviors, right? They need to go eat. They need to go sleep. They need to go do any number of jobs. Oh, I see. Okay, where you can... Yeah, you pay for, like, the pro... whatever, you know, thing, where you can... An ECS system. Yeah, I mean, I'd really like to just... I know I'm probably not going to be able to accomplish what I'm picturing in my head. It's just way too much. I'll either have to scale the world down to something very, very small, or I'll have to just equation simulate things at some point. Maybe mass entity is what you need, but that's up to you to decide. It makes a lot of sense for Colony Sim. Yeah, I'll have to look into the stuff that you sent me. I super appreciate your knowledge on this stuff. Where there could be potentially a lot of characters. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to keep the number of colonists quite low. Like, this is not going to be like what you see on this map. Like, this is way more than I would
seem
ever...
to stall out, but I guess it barely matters if the respawn system stalls for 30 seconds compared to the timescale of gameplay.
Jesus Christ.
I've seen several instances in which zombies spawn very close to the player, and I can only assume it's the respawn system going haywire. Now that spiel is over, I'll come back around to migration. I teleport to somewhere in West Point, and we can watch.
Yeah, like this is so much more than I would ever have in this kind of an area, right? I don't even know how big this is, but I already know it's not. I really like how there's clusters of... Oh god, this is making me think of They Are Billions. Elliot, if you haven't played They Are Billions, you gotta play that game, man. I don't know if you like Colony Sim type games, but it's a really fun game. And seeing these... because like it's essentially like this, except there's a colony instead of a single character. So you're just trying to like build this colony up in the center, and like there are just like these like literally billions of zombies around you, and it's like you gotta like very, very carefully like creep out your buildings, and like kind of you have to like clear out little pockets of zombies and make little choke points that your like your archers can shoot and stuff like that. And research technology. It's a really fun game. If you're into like colony building or colony sims at all, it's a great game to try out. And then these waves come, like every X days, a big wave will come, and they'll approach from one direction, and you have to like build up a bunch of defenses in that direction, and then they just like absolutely overwhelm you, and potentially draw in more, because like I guess sound is a thing in the game, and so like if you build walls and like a zombie whacks on your wall, then other zombies can hear that and they just start coming.
The spread out zombies group up via the rally group system. You can see that they do a great job of hitting their separation number when they start in a smooth spread. Now I'll delete all the zombies around me and wait till 9 PM for the migration to happen. There it is. You can see the cell is a larger square I'm inside. Those white dots appear to be simulated zombie groups. If you watch one move to an unloaded area, it turns into several red dots. Here we hit the first drawback to the system. The zombies all spawn on the edge of the loaded zone around me, and there's no carried over command for where they should go. This leaves any further spread up to random chance and rally groups. Rally groups are also not great at this. While it does end up pushing some groups out of the horde, it doesn't move them very far, meaning we get this pattern 2 or 3 rally groups deep with a mass amount remaining on the edge. This isn't all bad, as the migration system deciding to move a group of zombies right next to you would get annoying. However, it could also detect and not move zombies into your area in the first place.
Dude, the migration patterns of like zombie packs, and like he's talking about rally groups, which I'm not even sure what that is, but it's so cool and so crazy.
So at this point, I'm going to have to remind you guys that what you see here does not reflect normal gameplay. It's highly unlikely you manage to kill all the zombies in the loaded area without moving or drawing in zombies from outside that area. Just the act of moving around will allow the rally group system to spread them out much more effectively. There's also the chance that another migration tick happens and spreads the zombies out properly again.
They have
while you're not
migration
in that
ticks.
area.
That's interesting.
Fun fact, zombies don't make rally groups while they're in a forest. If the edge of the loaded area is in a forest during a migration event, you can end up with a massive wall of zombies just chilling out there.
Okay, so wait, is what we're seeing on the screen the white box? Is that what I'm seeing?
Probably best to go away and let the next migration tick spread them back out, because that is nightmare fuel. There's also the question of just how many people play with the zombie population cranked up so high. With a low or normal population, you would still have a square of zombie groups pop up around you, but no insurmountable wall of flesh. There also seems to be a mechanic setting off the redistribution upon entering a new cell after a certain time period, meaning it will be a lot harder to manipulate those events than simply remembering 9 AM and 9 PM. On the other hand, if it really does activate when you enter a cell, you can guarantee you have 12 hours to clear without interruption, and to position yourself in an advantageous place for the redistribution to occur. Of course, your plans could very easily be ruined by a sound event. In fact, the random event gunshot is terrifically loud. It draws in zombies from a huge
There's
distance,
a random
and if
event
it wasn't
gunshot?
for the little
Oh, that
protection
sucks.
square around yourself catching them on the edges, you would witness true hordes of zombies marching past. This is kind of disappointing to me. Thousands of zombies marching past as I cower in a house sounds amazing. The game is balanced around the current system, and surviving might be questionable, but man, would it be immersive.
Yeah, it's getting close to the time where I'll have to get off. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look into these systems. I guess the part that's like tickling my brain is like how to, because like this seems like it's all 2D. There's also a helicopter that spawns in the first week to draw hordes to you. Oh, fucking fantastic. Yeah, I've always meant to play this game. It's on my wish list. And it sounds pretty fun. A random event, yeah. Yeah, I guess like simulating things in memory makes sense to me and doesn't seem very fuzzy. The fuzzy part is actually getting things to these simulated dots, we'll just say dots, to actually move along the terrain, like, because like this is all 2D, right? I mean, I guess there's obstacles, so that's one thing, but they don't have to worry about a Z-axis here, I assume. So that makes things probably quite a bit more efficient, particularly with pathfinding. And they also have very dumb NPCs. They don't really have any actions they need to take. So yeah, I'm just trying in my brain trying to connect from where I have things in Unreal Land, in behavior trees, in nav mesh, to everything in memory. And as far as like the data of like what to do and when and what these actors are, that all seems fine in my head, but actually moving them and interacting with things is fuzzy to me. Have I talked to Ravier about how he simulates NPCs? He has some interesting insight. I have no idea who that is. But, yeah, if he has done some simulation, I would like to speak with him. Or her. Oh, you said he, so him. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about the sheer amount of data that I would need to store. And like, I don't know, Dr. Elliot, if you're still here, but I came up with the idea of just like writing to disk, or like writing to like some sort of SQLite instance running locally or something for like things that are, you know, I don't need them immediately. Oh, he's a Unity dev and went to Godot or Godot when shit went tits up. Yeah, a lot of Godot people here on Twitch, it seems. Yeah, I just don't know how to connect those two dots. And I guess probably looking at some of the stuff that Elliot sent me would be nice. Jesus Christ, look at these docs. Oh, this is a community docs thing, that's why I couldn't find it. He talks in an agnostic way and talks in computer science terms. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the concepts are what I need to know, or if it's just like the micro implementation in Unreal that I need to know. Yeah, it's interesting to point out the strategy games, because yeah, there are a ton of fucking units in strategy games. But I kind of feel like that's more along the lines of just like a group of units are all doing the same thing, right? And that's how that's optimized, which is not going to be the case for really anything that I'm doing. Like there's going to be very little chance for me to group things together and give them the same logic. Oh, ECS is mass entity. Okay. ECS is just a flavor of something. God, there's so much shit inside Unreal Engine where it's just like, who the fuck's ever even heard of that? Some community docs, love that. To facilitate massive crowd simulations. It's all about finding the right tick box. Yeah, where's that make game tick box? Is it right next to the ship game tick box? I need one of those. Okay. We have entity fragments and processors. 2 entity components and systems. A basic movement processor could query for entities that have a transform and velocity component to add the velocity to their current transform position. An entity is just a really small, unique identifier that points to some fragments. And the processor defines a query that filters for entities that have specific fragments. Fragments are stored in memory as tightly packed arrays of other identical fragment arrangements called archetypes. Okay. Because of this, the aforementioned movement processor can be incredibly high performance because it does a simple operation on a small amount of data all at once. New functionality can easily be added by creating new fragments and processors. Oh, tags. We have tags. Even more tags. Unreal Engine loves tags. This is the 3rd type of tag I've learned about in Unreal Engine. Fragments, structs that entities can own and processors can query them. So, I mean, that's the data part of it, right? A fragment is just a piece of data, I assume. Data. A shared fragment. Type of fragment that multiple entities can point to. Often used for configuration common to a group of entities, like LOD or replication settings. See the same clock value. I guess I'm wondering, like, can you actually render things like can you actually turn these into actors when you need to? Or is that just a lot of work that I'm gonna have to do? Okay, there's some interoperability between subsystems, it seems. Yeah, what are we doing with this subsystem? Yeah. I don't think Elliot was lying. What did he say? He was like, mass entity is like a, what, a month-long rabbit hole or something like that? A couple month-long rabbit hole. Okay, well, that's going to be it for me for tonight. I will send you guys all over. I'll send you guys over to Boom. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. I didn't really accomplish what I wanted to tonight, but I didn't really have high hopes for that anyways. I have higher hopes now that Dr. Elliot came in and enlightened us. So, yeah. Thank you all for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow night when I will be streaming again.
And just buy the 5090 when it comes out.